Hey guys, welcome to Alice Every Day, and today I'm going to teach you how to make wooden construction blocks for your kids. Now this is an awesome project, very easy to do, it just takes a lot of sanding, but I'm sure your kids are going to have a lot of fun with. I remember growing up with a set of these and I just remember how awesome they were. So without further ado, let's get to the build. So guys, the first thing that we're going to do is mark out 1 foot sections and a total of 3 feet on this 2x4. What we're going to do is the final blocks are going to be the small ones 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches. The medium ones are 1.5 inches by 3. And then I'm going to cut a 3x3 where the triangles are going to come out of. Now once you cut down the 1 foot pieces, you're going to mark down, just as a reference, a 1.5 inch section on the beginning, and then that's on 2 boards, and on the third one you're going to mark a 3-inch section. You're just going to use this as a reference so you can set up your cutting block, and that way you know how big they have to be each one. At the end of this, I will end up with 8 long sections with 16 small ones and 4 triangles. Now I've made these numbers so they actually fit into 1 foot sections each one, and you're going to find out that since the blade cuts through some material, they're going to end up being a little bit short, so your last piece is not going to be a usable piece, which is fine. You're still going to end up with plenty of pieces to play with. Now for this, you can use either a table saw and use a slide, and use a stop block, so every time you cut it is the same size, or you can use a miter saw. If you have a miter saw, this process will be a lot easier. So before cutting, make sure you take off your round overs from your boards. You're going to cut off 1/2 inch on each side, so you actually end up with 3 inches of workable wood. Now this is going to be perfect because when you cut it down the middle is 1.5, so you have 1.5 squares all around. Now make sure that you do this before you start cutting your pieces, or it just makes it harder at the end. Now you can see is I'm cutting one side of every single piece, and then I'll go back and cut the other side of my 1.5 blocks. Now at this point, I'm cutting my 3-inch squares. These are the ones I'm going to split in half to get triangles. I'm cutting off the round overs of each little block. Since I didn't do this before, I have to go 1 by 1 and getting it all done. Now if you do it beforehand, you just gotta do 3 cuts and you're done. Since I didn't, let's get started. Now with all my pieces done, let's get to cutting a perfect triangle. Now this is actually easier than I thought it would be. I thought I was gonna have to build a jig, but I figured, hey, if actually I can fit the square right in the hole that the table saw makes, it should cut straight. And also use my stop block to hold it on one side. Now be very careful with this. If you have a miter saw, please use your miter saw. It's gonna make it a lot easier for you in a 45-degree angle. Now for the final cuts, I'm cutting down half of my 3" by 1.5. I'm gonna cut them down in half to make little small cubes. Now this should end up with 16 small cubes, or if you didn't use the last one, you can have 14 small cubes. And now for the fun part. Now, I'm gonna speed this up and I'm not gonna show you sanding every single block, but you do wanna make sure you are sanding every single side or every single face of every block in the triangles, and you wanna get rid of every single corner. So you have to do a small little round over on every single edge. Now, if you have a router, you can do this with a router. If you don't, it's actually not that bad if you have a sander. Now, this will take a very long time. You just gotta be patient. Make sure that there's no splinters left and every single face is smooth for a kid to play with. There you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed this build. I know I'm gonna have fun with these. They're actually very cool. I'm gonna extend the set. I'm gonna make a lot more. And all this took was just 3 feet of 2x4s and a lot of sanding. Now, if you know somebody that might enjoy this build, go ahead and share with them. I know we're all looking for projects to do during the weekends, and there's an awesome project to do with the family. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments how it went. And don't forget to subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you on the next build.